assimilation of the manifestation of Ishvara. It is one thing to say everything is Ishvara. It doesn't really sink in. So the process of assimilation is always look into the implications. The more you see the implications, the more you assimilate the vision. That this Jagat, the scheme of things, which includes my body, mind, sense complex, is a manifestation of Ishvara, is not separate from the maker, from the giver. The given is not separate from the giver. And therefore, it is Ishvara's knowledge is manifest in the form of this entire scheme called Jagat. We assimilate this fact by looking into the nature of manifestation. So we saw that it is in the form of orders. There is one huge Maha order, which can be seen also severally as physical order, which we study in physics, all disciplines of physics, astrophysics, quantum physics. So the physical order, then the biological order which we study in biology, the physiological order which we study in physiology, in medicine. Then there is psychological order, which is very important for a human being to understand properly. Then we saw the order of Dharma. Because I am endowed with choice, I need to have a matrix of norms. These norms we commonly sense, and therefore there is Samanya Dharma. We will look into this little more. This Samanya Dharma, universal order, is very critical for a human being to live purposefully. No law and order is necessary. For a person who has a commitment to grow into a life of Dharma. Dharma is a Purushartha, I said. In no culture, Dharma is a Purushartha. If Dharma is a Purushartha, your police force is not necessary. a big police force is not necessary. Even today, this dharma being purushartha is in some form understood by the people of India. So we have a certain order born out of one's own concept of duty. The control mechanism is inside, is not from outside. If artha kama pursuits are predominant pursuits, understand this well, dharma becomes a secondary value, and therefore a police is necessary to control, to curb a person from doing things that are not acceptable. Artha kama are important. Dharma is only I need to follow because there is a police, there is a court, there is punishment because of the punitive measures taken by the government. So one obliges dharma. One goes by the rules of law. In any given opportunity where one can escape from the law, the long hands of law, they are not that long, then one will go against dharma with impunity. Doesn't have qualms. But if the emphasis is in the very purushartha dharma as the prime purushartha, then I have an inner control. I get this concept of duty, that I need to do this. So that I need to do this becomes duty. Where I need not do, but I want to do, is born of my own choice. So most of our activities will fall under duty. Some out of our own sweet choice. Even that choice born karma will conform to dharma. Therefore, duty is always conforming to dharma, and choice born karma also will conform to dharma if I have dharma as the prime end to be accomplished. Every human being has to grow into that person who can live dharmic life spontaneously without any kind of complaint, any sense of loss or losing out. So this is Indian culture, spiritual culture, that everyone should grow into a human being. It is this that made us also, this varnashrama, made us follow this varnashrama. It is not meant for controlling people. It is meant for growing into a complete person. In a society, there are different things to be accomplished. I am not advocating varnashrama. I want you to understand what was varnashrama, because you have to live with it. Even if it is a thing of the past, that it was there also can be a nagging fact, an irritating fact. Therefore, understand what it is. It's very important that we understand our culture. It's easy to criticize. It takes a certain openness to understand. And a human being has to be open in order to understand. You can't simply just to close your mind and make a judgment just because somebody said it is convenient for somebody to say that. Hindu culture becomes a whipping boy for some people because they don't want to understand, they don't like to understand, and therefore they cannot understand. This is a society of no competition. We all know this. Our culture also was meant to be non-competitive. The son of a priest was a priest. Before a child is born, what the child is going to be, everybody knew. The son of a priest becomes a priest, marries the daughter of a priest. Son of a carpenter is a carpenter, marries the daughter of a carpenter. None of them felt bad. Everyone was content with whatever job that one was doing. There was a pride. A son of a goldsmith was goldsmith, married the daughter of a goldsmith. The society was free from competition. Father was doing business, the son also was doing business. So thus we had a certain order in terms of duty. Profession is duty. And everyone was contributing to the community. A community needs a carpenter, needs a goldsmith, needs a blacksmith, needs a priest, needs a teacher, needs an administrator, needs somebody doing agriculture, commerce, etc. This is there everywhere in the world, in every society. Now it was to keep the competition away. You imbibe, the best way is to inherit also a profession. Then where is the competition? It is in the inner growth. I told you Dharma for us is prime value. When in a society where Dharma becomes so important, Artha Kama subserve Dharma, and that society is going to be fashioned with a structure which is conducive for accomplishing that prime value called Dharma. Therefore, Artha is money. power. All these subserve my pursuit of Dharma. If you go to temples in the south of India, you will find there are a row of people. It's all idols, worshipped. They were 9 Mars saints, and all of them, perhaps most of them, were not Brahmins or learned people. Brahmins do puja to them. Everyone had to grow inside as a person. So this kind of inner growth was very important for every individual. Therefore, the spiritual culture of India has to be understood only in this light, that Dharma, inner growth was the most important end to be accomplished. If that is so, everything is in order. When you want to have more money, naturally you are going to change. Everybody went to software engineering, electronics a few years ago. Now everybody is going for commercial subjects, BCom and so on. So all the colleges, they had these various courses, engineering courses, software courses. All of them, they have to now IA. They have to invite students to come. Why? Because there is always a shift in the job market, and it is not always the same. The conditions are variable, and therefore they always look for in which area there are more jobs available, in which area there is glut. And there are consultants also, what you should study. The whole emphasis is different. Therefore, it is a competitive society. It is entirely a different approach, different attitudes. Let us follow the same thing, doesn't matter. Let us compete. But still, we need not give up our spiritual commitment. Every human being should have that commitment. You don't compete at the cost of that commitment. That is what is happening now. We began competing, but without the commitment to Dharma. When you moved out to compete from this inherited profession, then you have moved out from your commitment to Dharma. It is dangerous. And therefore, we should reinstate the Dharma to its pedestal. And we have to enthrone Dharma in our heart as the one that is to be accomplished, because that is human aspiration. You want everybody to be a good person, after all. If there are 3 doctors in your area, there is a doctor who is very kind, good, and doesn't charge you much if you don't have money, but always wrongly diagnoses your problem. Nobody will go to the doctor. There is another fellow who does his job well, but always angry and charges you heavily, but does his job well. Therefore, with a murmur, you will go to him alone, not to the other fellow. If there is a third one who is efficient, who does his job well, at the same time kind, both the others have to go without clients. Everybody will make a beeline towards the third person. You always want a person to be good and kind and compassionate. At the same time efficient. You cannot deal with a nitwit. You have to have a certain commitment to your profession, to hone your skills. But at the same time, you don't give up your commitment to Dharma. Dharma is the prime end to be accomplished. So that is our culture, and that we should understand that, and more of this we will see when we come next. Thank you.